Hello,
Welcome,
everybody.
everyone.
Welcome and welcome back.
Yes, we have something for you today.
We do. And it might leave you scratching your head for a minute.
It might. And I hope it does. I hope it does.
Yeah.
We have scratched our head on this enough for years.
Yes.
Actually. Yeah.
Yes. And I am just now, I think, realizing that we individually have been scratching our heads
Yes.
over it,
Uh-huh.
but not so much together.
Correct.
A little
We've
bit.
taught, we've known it. I mean, we've talked about it,
Yeah.
but so this is all about intentions, setting intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And we've always kind of went, like, I don't know. But we didn't know what else to call it. We didn't know what else to say. So we went with it.
And there were so many times when setting that intention really felt good.
Yes.
And it really helped.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But when I came last week, I went to set my intention about something very specific.
Yeah.
And I got the words, I set my intention, and I was dumbfounded.
Ooh, say more.
Well, and I had told you about this. So I was going to spend the day with my dad.
Right.
And I really wanted to have a nice day with him.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking him disc golfing with me.
This is okay. Yep. I'm remembering it now, but they don't know the story.
So I said, okay, Spirit, I'm getting ready. And I said, I really want to have a good day with my dad. So I set my intention and I stopped. I was blank. Yeah. And I went, well, what really is my intention? What is it I'm really wanting?
Right.
And I stood there for a minute, and then I started talking, and it was coming from my heart. And it had nothing to do with intention.
Right.
It was really what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I wanted was to not have any expectation on the day.
Right.
And I remember telling you about this, and you said, ooh, intentions have all kinds of expectations on them.
Yes.
And it was like,
and I still stand with that.
It was like getting hit with a bowling ball. It's like, yes.
Yes.
Setting an intention is nothing but, well, it's more than just expectation, but there's a lot of ego in there.
A lot of ego.
A lot of ego.
It's like manifesting. That's why we don't do the whole manifesting thing, because that's all ego. Right. It's all ego.
Yeah.
And so as you were talking, I was like, okay, well, in some ways there's intentions. Like, okay, so my intent today is to get to the grocery store because I have to get this, this, and this. And I need to do this, 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 this. So those are my intentions today. So there are places for intentions.
Yes, there absolutely are places for intentions.
Yeah.
And I believe that I am using that as a scapegoat.
Sure.
To be responsible for me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 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 Which is going to make my Saturday morning waking up with intentions.
Which you already started something different.
I did. So I had already done it, and I called it that. And I'm pretty sure I renamed it to Waking Up and Connect. Wake Up and Connect.
Yes.
Which I think is the new name. I think that name will stay.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure that in that video, I talked about the intention thing, not even realizing where this was going.
Yes. But we were ready. We were ready for this. We've had, Mari-Lyn and I have had a big upgrade. Actually, it started less than a week ago. And then this morning we were actually on the phone talking, and all of a sudden it was like, oh boy, Spirit's bringing something. And the next thing you know, we were getting this huge upgrade, this huge new attunement, download, upgrade, ignition, whatever verbiage you want to place right there. We got it. And it was fabulous.
It was.
And I think part of it is around, now we don't always know. We have some ideas of what that was or where that's going to take us. But it's really, when those times happen, it's because you've been sort of realizing something. You've been getting sort of hits on this and things aren't feeling right. And like the whole intention thing. And even like with Fred's meds, I probably only said intentions half the time. And I did it sort of just went, oh, people like that. And so then I would do it. But it, so.
Because that's been part of how it's been done.
Yes. So we are not above, by the way, changing our mind. This is not, we weren't lying before.
No.
Now we're telling the truth, or it's not that sort of thing. You change, you evolve with spirit. And we've done that many times. I bet if people went back to our earlier podcasts, they could probably say, back then you said this and now you're saying this. I'm sure they did that a lot. And
I'm sure. Absolutely.
And we weren't lying back then. We weren't being dishonest. We evolve all the time. And this is another evolution. And it's really kind of to get rid of that spiritually setting intentions. I would think, right? That's kind of the way to say that. Because like I said, you can set it like, okay, my intention today, I have my list of things I have to get done today. And I really do intend to get them all done today.
Yes.
So,
yeah. But going outside of that and setting the intention to be open to spirit.
Yes.
I set the intention
to
be open to spirit.
Now that sounds just...
Wait a minute.
It always felt weird, but now it even sounds weird to my ear.
I mean, I either am or I'm not.
Yes.
And my intention to be open to spirit doesn't make it so.
No.
It absolutely doesn't. And with that said, if you are a person that sets intentions like that and it works for you,
right,
fabulous.
However, I'm going to challenge those people.
Thank you.
Because something came to us last week when we got together. It was another big day. And
I think it was just Friday.
Yes. So if y'all are listening to this on Tuesday, the whatever it is, 8th or something like that. It was just last Friday, what was that, the 3rd or
Friday
something?
the 4th.
4th.
Yeah, because today's Monday. That we're recording this.
So what came to us that day, and it was beautiful and poetic, and when you're in that lovey-dovey, yummy spirit energy, it's all gooey and
like wrapped up in a blanket, and you're drinking hot chocolate with marshmallows and maybe a little caramel.
Oh yes, and it's just so beautiful. What came was, I'm sitting down to connect, to accept, and receive spirit. And once we said that, woof. And we have said it ever since. And wow, things start happening. So should we open space?
Oh, please.
Yes. And
yes, please.
All right. So let's, and it doesn't have to be the same every time.
Mm-mm.
And it won't be. It'll be different every time, and that's okay. It's really okay. Maybe you'll use those 3 words in a different order, or maybe you'll just use one of them or 2 of them or whatever. It's whatever it needs to be, right? Because it's
Right.
spirit and we all need something different. All right.
Yes.
So you want to give a quick rundown of what not to
Oh,
do?
yes, please. If you are driving, if you are operating heavy machinery, if you are in the kitchen with a sharp knife or at the stove, if you can stop, please do.
Yes.
Put the knife down, turn the stove off. If you cannot stop what you're doing, turn the volume down for just a moment or two. Allow yourself to be grounded without really getting pulled into this energy of spirit, because we want you to be present and safe in doing whatever you're doing in the 3D right now.
Yes.
So please and thank you.
Right. Okay, so here we go. Whew, the energy's already starting to hit me. We open this sacred space around everyone listening today, no matter when you come to this podcast. You are welcome in this circle and you are with friends. As we sit here in circle, as we come together, we welcome in all of our spiritual guidance, all of those beautiful beings who work with us every day on this beautiful journey of ours. We sit down to connect with spirit, to accept who we are and what's given to us, and to receive from spirit what we need. We thank you for this amazing opportunity as we give our gratitude to ourselves for showing up and our gratitude to spirit for showing up. We thank you for the love and the guidance as we set this beautiful space at love, connection, acceptance, and receiving. And so it is. Ooh,
Thank
to
you.
me that feels different. And I'd like and you guys let us know what you think if that feels different to you. It feels very different to me. And it might not to everyone. And sorry for those of you who are watching my hair. I just washed it this morning and it always kind of looks a little bit fuzzy and icky. And we sat down and I had my hair up in a clip and I took it out. And it was so huge, and Mari-Lyn just started laughing.
It was beautiful, but it was like a lioness mane. It was
gray hair has a mind of its own.
And
we said, just let me tell you.
Yeah. No, that felt really good. And the
right back to reality for me.
Setting intentions for me has always felt like there's pressure.
Yes.
I put pressure on myself to, number 1, speak the right intention.
Yes.
And number 2, live up to it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm done with the whole intention thing. And I think it will take me, because it's such a habit, I've done it for so many years, because that's how I was taught to do it, right?
Right.
I've done it for so many years. I think there's still going to be times when I say it out of just sheer habit.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite possibly. After my experience last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, I don't know when, but when I said it and it was like, yeah, it was so flat.
Yes.
I may not have that issue of just wanting to say it again. It was just the most bizarre thing.
Yeah.
But fabulous. And when I did start speaking from my heart space, I did use the word intention, but I wasn't setting it. I was just speaking what I intended.
Yes.
To make the day.
Yes.
And so I hopefully everybody can understand the difference between setting an intention,
yes,
and actually speaking an intention.
Yes.
That speaking came absolutely from my heart. And I really wanted to connect with my father with no expectations on that day.
Yeah.
And
you did.
And I did.
Yes.
And a quick backstory as to why this was important. I was taking him disc golfing with me because I thought he would enjoy it. He used to be an avid golfer. He's 93. He doesn't golf anymore. He doesn't have the stamina.
No, that you need a lot for. Yeah.
And we have talked about this on a podcast before, that on a golf course with my father, I lost a soul piece.
Yes.
And I said, I'll never golf again. And I didn't pick up a golf club again.
Yeah.
And here disc golf has become, it has become part of who I am. Yes. I am a disc golfer.
Yeah. You are. You are. Yeah.
I am a disc golfer.
Yes.
I'm not very good at it yet, but
it's not about that. It's just about you going out and just enjoying that sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
And absolutely. So I really wanted that connection with my father, with no expectations to it. And man, did spirit come through. Woo-hoo! I came through.
Yes.
And I'm going to say my dad even came through, because my dad was my dad, and he did not disappoint with some of his judgments. Yes. And some of his comments, and he said nothing wrong.
Right.
However, some of the things that he said had such conditions to them.
Yes.
And some judgments to them, and I wasn't hurt by them. Yes. I wasn't.
And that's how he's always been. He didn't do anything different than what your dad does.
No.
Right.
And I was actually able to come back and say, yes, and that really was a good shot. Yeah, it may have landed in not such a good place. But I have gotten to a point now where I did that. And I'm really happy with it.
And you pointed that out to him, and yes. And
and he accepted it.
And you know, there are those times when I've certainly had this brought to my attention. Sometimes I'll say things or do things, and it's either such a habit, or I'm not paying attention, or whatever. And it wasn't very nice, like the tone wasn't very nice, or I was being judgy or whatever. And someone has said something back to me, bringing it to my attention. I was like, oh my gosh, I've apologized. I am so sorry. That really was not the way it was intended. Speaking of intentions, I did not intend it that way, but that's the way it came out because of what, Yeah. So sometimes just bringing it to the person's attention, because they may not mean it that way. And I think your dad does that. Like, it's just such a habit.
It is. And
not that it makes it okay. I'm not saying that, oh, okay, you can go ahead and be judgy-wudgy, but.
Right. And I think for him, this is completely conjecture.
Right.
But I think part of that judgment is his attempt to help me get better.
Yes. There are those people.
And as a teenager, I couldn't take it. And
my kids played a lot. Sorry. My kids played a lot of sports, as we all know. I talked about it. And they almost always had their dad. And then there was there were like three men that they almost always had in every sport, and they were wonderful coaches. But once in a while, they would get another coach who really had that belief that I'm going to tear you down and it's going to make you want to get out there and do more. And neither of my kids, most kids, they just don't, that doesn't work for them.
Right.
It just doesn't work. You're like, what? That does not inspire me at all to want to, but there is. And actually my father-in-law is the same way, and he's not quite as old as your dad, but he's getting up there, and that same sort of attitude that I'm gonna say that you look ugly and it's gonna make you want to go in and look, you know what I mean? Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't.
No. And there was one time when he said, I noticed that this is happening. And I was actually able to explain to him why it was happening.
Very good.
And that part of it is supposed to happen. And part of it is I'm still in the learning process of how to manipulate the disc to not do that. And it was so... I was peacocked. I was like a peacock, so proud of myself.
You should. Yes.
Yeah.
You were able to take the words without thinking what his intention was and just leave it at the words and go, oh, no, actually, blah, 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 blah.
And you know what I just got was he was looking for more information and didn't know how to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that do that, that's what they're looking for more, and they really don't know. They've never been taught how to ask a question. Like, almost asking a question is almost like they don't allow themselves to not know something. So they kind of put it out there. Weakness. Yes, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, showing weakness. And in making a statement of this is what I've seen, then you're not leaving yourself too vulnerable.
Yes, exactly.
And it was so beautiful not to take anything personal.
Yes.
And to
Good for you.
Have a conversation.
Yeah.
It was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And so
pat yourself on the back for that.
I am so grateful that I listened to Spirit.
Yeah.
When I said I set my intention, and then I went blank.
Wait a minute. Nope.
Yeah.
That was really connecting, accepting your dad for who he is. And he's not going to change now at 93.
At 93? No.
And just receiving what you needed. And what you needed was to hear it differently and to express yourself.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. Beautiful. And I needed to express myself in a non-defiant way.
Yes.
Non-defiance, opinionated,
and judging,
non-judgmental
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to, I don't mean to change the subject, but I'm going to.
Okay.
I just have,
looking
at our backdrop here. So as you all probably know, we were in Portugal recently. And I'm going to totally tell on myself. This just reminded me of something. We were out and about. Now, Mari-Lyn and I are from Portland, Oregon. It rains a lot here. And no self-respecting Portlander uses a freaking umbrella. You always know who the visitors are, right? Because they've got their stupid umbrella. I used an umbrella when I was in Portugal.
You know, it's okay, Pam. I, on occasion, will use an umbrella.
I don't know.
On occasion will.
Who owns an umbrella around here?
Yeah. I own quite a few umbrellas.
Do you? I do not.
And I am more likely to carry the umbrella than I am.
No, I'll put a hood on or a hat, but the actual umbrella thing, I don't.
Yes.
It was, we went to, I can't remember the name of the town. Sorry, I wish I could tell you all. For those of us, because we have listeners in Portugal. And okay, so it was the town, there is a town, oh my gosh, there's a pilgrimage that people do there. So dang it, I can't remember it. Anyway, it's this beautiful town, and it just started dumping rain. And in our we had brought the people that we rented our house from had umbrellas. And so I think it was my husband, could have been my son, I don't know, said, let's just take a few umbrellas just in case, because it looks like it's gonna dump.
Yeah.
And it did. So and the whole time I'm like, oh my God, look at what I'm doing. I'm from Portland. We don't, but I would have been absolutely soaked, and I did not have a hat, so I'm making excuses. But anyway, just remind me looking at these buildings behind us in our background here. Yes.
Hilarious.
I used an umbrella, and I just, yep, I did.
You are allowed.
Thank you.
You are allowed.
Thank you.
And we are both born and raised.
Yes.
Portland.
Yes.
So you know what? We're entitled.
All I kept thinking was my hair, because gray hair, I know I talk, but frizzes. And I thought, oh my God, it's gonna get wet, and I'm gonna have it's just gonna be so bad. Because I'm not afraid of water. Who's afraid of water? But it would have just been just awful. So anyway, I had to tell that story. Yes. And I was thinking, no, awesome. Self-respecting Portlander use an umbrella, but here I am. But I'm not in Portland, I'm in Portugal. So yes. So there.
But I think it's fine.
Thank
you. I do use an umbrella on occasion, depending on, how long am I going to be out in it, and how hard is it raining?
Yes. We do get big dumps of rain here. They don't tend to last very long. Like some people think Portland, oh my God, we've had people ask us, is it like rain 365 days a year there? It's like, no. But it does rain a lot, but it's also white, so green and beautiful.
Very beautiful. Yeah. But you don't want to carry an umbrella if the wind is also blowing.
Yes.
Because your umbrella
you're gonna ruin your umbrella, first of all. Yeah. And we often get both of those things here.
Yes, especially out where we live.
Yes.
At the mouth of the gorge.
Yes.
We get east wind.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yes. And actually not far from here, an hour outside of here, it's called Hood River. We lived there for a while. Our kids went to school out there. Anyway, it's like the windsurfing capital of the world.
Yes.
It's like one of 2 or 3 places in the world that's, that level, world class. Yeah. And it's because of the wind.
Because of the wind.
Yes. You can't have flowers in your garden. You can't have, there's things that you might as well pack it up, because they'll just get blown away. Yes. So. Yep. Anyway, so I had to share that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And yes. So and now my son's in Turkey. It's like he just little jet setter boy, he and his wife went to Turkey. And then I just happened to talk to Nan, and she said she was in Turkey for the weekend too. It's like, oh, they were both in Istanbul and had no idea.
Love to go to Turkey.
And they do know each other, my son and her. But anyway, so so yes, so it's not intention setting, it's about connection, acceptance, and receiving.
And being open to all 3 of them.
Yes.
Being open to it.
Yes. And those things can mean different things depending on what you're going through. Absolutely.
The connection, first and foremost, in my opinion, is to ourselves.
Yes.
We have to be able to connect to ourselves.
Yep.
if we're connected with ourself, connecting with spirit is that much easier.
Yes.
The information we get is so much fuller.
Yes.
Can we still connect to spirit without connecting to ourselves? Yes.
Yes. It's not as full.
But it's not as full, it's not as fulfilling, it's not as
and that's part of that acceptance piece too. We have to accept that connection, accept ourselves, and accept spirit. And those of you who are sort of on this journey, you know what I'm saying. The acceptance. And if this is the first time you're sort of hearing that, try it the next time that you sit down to meditate, to do anything spiritual, or just walking through the house. Just, I accept who I am. I accept whatever you're feeling that day. I accept that I am spirit. I accept that spirit walks with me. I accept, or I accept.
And that sounds so easy.
It does.
I accept that I am spirit and that spirit walks with me.
Yes. Or I accept the information that spirit just gave me because it smacked me in the head.
Yeah.
You know, those truth bombs that come through once in a while, when you're ready to hear it. But that's an acceptance piece too.
Accepting. Yeah, there's a lot to accept.
Yes. Yeah.
You
but
know,
just put a blanket out, just sort of blanketing that too. As I sit down to connect, I accept and receive. Spirit.
Yeah.
It's really that the words are simple, but doing isn't so simple.
It is very simple, but always not always easy.
So if you are an intention setter, I think we would encourage you to mix that up a bit. Try really looking at those intentions, like maybe write them down and ask yourself and be as honest as you can. Are those, does this come from my ego? Is it that human piece? Really the human piece.
Right. Where is this coming from?
Yes.
And why?
Yes. And it doesn't mean it's wrong.
No.
It does not mean that at all. We have to human because that's what we're here to do. But what are those intentions? And what do you mean by them? Where are they coming from? What do they really mean? What are you really asking for? Is it a false fire?
And is it really what you want?
Yes.
Or is it what you think you want? Is it what you've been told you want?
Yes. Yes.
Is it what someone else wants?
Yes.
And you're just going along with it? Okay. That sounds good to me.
Right.
I've done that.
Yes. And what's coming through now is, here will be another piece of it. So there was manifestation, intentions, and now gratitudes. Gratitudes I have struggled with for a long time because it seems so ego driven. And I have asked Spirit, I've asked Fred, and Spirit knows what's in your heart. It's not about, because you get those things, write down your gratitudes every day. There are people that get up every morning and write down their gratitudes. And really the reason for that is to put you in a particular vibration, to put you in the vibration of gratitude. Right. So why don't we just ask for the vibration of gratitude? Right? Because I've asked Fred many times over the years, am I really grateful? Yes. Spirit knows your heart. Spirit knows your soul. Spirit knows that you're grateful for everything. Right?
Spirit also knows when you aren't.
Yes. Yes. But let that be a guide for you. Okay, I want to be in gratitude right now. Spirit, I want to connect with Spirit. I want to accept gratitude, and I'd like to receive what that means.
I want to put that in a bottle. I want to accept gratitude.
Yes.
Because I have had almost that exact conversation with spirit.
Yeah.
And what is shown to me is, did this behavior exhibit gratitude? Did
Yes.
this thought process exhibit gratitude?
Right.
Did this, I mean, I could keep going. No.
Right. And is it, and does that, just saying it doesn't mean you're really grateful.
No.
And then if you forget something, like let's say I forget to say that I'm grateful for my husband, does that mean I'm not grateful for him? No.
No.
Just means I forgot him this time, whatever, like I wasn't.
Right. I tried, I don't know, I think this must have been an early sobriety, right? Of writing down gratitudes. Oh man, I struggled.
Yeah.
I got a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the beautiful maple tree in my front yard.
Yes. Sometimes that was all that you could come up with.
That was it.
Yeah. But really, even as you say that, as I lean into you, as you say that, there was so much more that you couldn't put words to. Your
I
soul was so grateful, but maybe your deva wasn't.
but my
Or,
human
right.
was so full of anger
Yes. Yes.
and regret
Yes.
and confusion.
Yes.
I was so confused.
Yes.
I honestly didn't even know what it meant to be grateful.
Right. Sure. That makes perfect sense.
Because when I was drinking, I was grateful I could get up and go to work the next day.
Right. Your gratitude sort of changed.
I was grateful I
Yeah.
could make it home from work
Yeah.
to have another drink.
Yes. See, so
Ooh,
gratitude really, yeah.
that was some truth right there.
Yes. And that was also human, right? And that
Yeah.
was so ego driven.
Very ego driven.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you
all of
weren't
it.
really in the vibration of gratitude. I get to drink this poison. That's you're not, that's not a real, although Fred is correcting me. That's not true. You really were grateful for that drink.
I really was.
Your Deva was really grateful because she felt better. She thought that's what feeling good was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you really were grateful. That was
And
that.
I
That
could
was true.
forget. I could forget
Yeah.
until I couldn't.
Until you couldn't. Yeah.
And there was always, and that's not over a period of time, right? That's per day. You
Right.
forget until all of a sudden something happens.
Yeah.
And I would be curious, if this happens with every alcoholic. I'm going to say most. There becomes a point of saturation where it's not blocked anymore and everything just comes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And is that just at some point spirit just saying you can't keep running? You have issues or
I
you
think
have
so.
whatever's that,
I think so.
we're gonna let you get away with it for a while because this is what you chose to do. Yes, Mari-Lyn chose to be an alcoholic in this lifetime. That was part of her purpose was to be a drunk. Thankfully she is no longer, and that was part of it too. However,
Right.
getting sober, that was a total choice. You didn't have to. You wouldn't be with us right now. So I'm very grateful that you
No,
made
I would
it.
not.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But see, so even gratitudes kind of really change, really but what is
Absolutely it changes. Sure.
But what is it about that we feel like we need to qualify that? I'm grateful that I have this glass of water right here. Why do I need to qualify? What is it that makes me want to qualify that?
It's for other people.
Mm. Yeah. And yeah.
Oh, is this true or is this my ego? People who exhibit gratitude on their sleeve
Mhm.
um leads some of us to it's a false flame. You used that word, a false flame or a false fire,
Uh-huh.
a little bit ago, because I wrote down false because
Oh,
I wanted to get back to it. Um, there is something false about gratitude.
yes. Yes. There is something false about it. It's I don't know what that is. That's a great thing for us to work on now. For the next podcast, we're gonna
Yeah.
have more information for you
Um,
on what, because there are things coming through. And being grateful for water is different than being grateful for brandy, by the way. So there, that is a different.
it is a different vibration, absolutely.
Yeah. However, is it, although that, it depends on where it comes from. Am I just, like you had said, is it a false flag or a false fire or a false flame, whatever verbiage you want to put there, that
Yeah.
it's for other people to hear it or something? That's great. We need to, maybe our next podcast, let's gratitude,
Yeah. Um,
because I'm not it's I need to really sit with that.
so gratitude can be a great tool to bypass,
Yes.
to find a pink cloud.
Yes.
And I think you're right. I think this would be a great podcast. So I'm not going to say anymore.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not saying to anyone to not be grateful, because that's not.
Mm-mm.
We just
Mm-mm.
want to sort of get to what is this, because in what we do, just like manifestation, just like intentions, gratitudes have become just sort of this thing. I don't even know what. Like, I don't know how many times, this was years ago when I take a lot of classes and do a lot of things and whatever. And I don't know how many times I'd hear, write your gratitudes, or have you written your gratitude, or what are you grateful for, or what have you, and it's like, that is this just a buzzword that we use in this community, because it's freaking stupid. Stop it. Really, I mean, I don't need someone to tell me to be grateful, or because I didn't do, or there's things that I'm not getting in my life because I'm not doing my gratitudes. Right?
Right.
So
Mm-mm.
sorry, I kept going with that. We should
Yeah,
stop there.
that's okay.
All right. Yeah.
That is okay. Oh, there's gonna be a lot to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially once, because I know we will individually sit with spirit,
Mhm.
and we will probably sit together with spirit
Absolutely. Yeah. It
about
will.
this, because um this is good. This is big.
Yeah. And if you all have things that you'd like to say to us, please let us know.
Mhm.
Something about gratitude, anything in this podcast, really. But
And if you have a question,
yeah.
please put it in the comments, or if you're listening on the audio only, you can text the show, you can text us.
And
Um,
thank you. And we don't know who
yeah,
you are. Yeah. So,
yeah.
all
Whew.
right. I feel kind of done. Do you feel done? Because I don't want to get off on a new whole
Yeah. I,
thing.
yeah, I don't want to go off anymore about
Yeah.
gratitude.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else we can say about that intention piece.
No,
Um,
said it.
I think we may bring it up again when we're talking about gratitude.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And for
Yeah.
me, again, I know I said it earlier, but it's just sort of these things that you always hear about: gratitude, setting intentions, manifesting. It's all within this sort of metaphysical, spiritual space. And they've just gotten overblown. They've become buzzwords. They've become these things that, teachers don't know what else to do. So I'm going to teach about, yes, what is that?
Ego. It's
Ego.
all
Yeah.
so around ego.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
of it.
And just stop.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Ego has a place.
Mhm.
Ego is it. We need our ego.
Yep.
The ego is why humanity keeps going.
Yes.
However, it has gotten so twisted
Yes.
and confused about its job.
Yes.
Um,
Just like what also just came now, it's just like my truth. That has been, but that used to be such a beautiful, that meant something. And
yeah,
now it's just like out there, you just lie or, whatever happened. Well, that's my truth. It's a way out.
yep,
It's just this thing that you say, and
yeah,
you can add that one to it too. There's just so many things that were so beautiful at one time, and they've just got distorted. They got distorted
distorted.
from
Great
ego,
word. Yeah,
from these people that want to act like they know what the hell they're doing, that sort of thing. So anyway,
yeah.
that's my truth, and I'm sticking to it. So,
Oh,
all right.
I truly am grateful
Yes.
that you all joined us.
Yes, that's a true great gratitude right
It
there.
is. It is.
And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Yeah.
Like, share, hit the notification bell because we have a lot of different things going on this channel.
Yes.
And if you listen to this only on wherever you stream your podcast,
Yeah.
you might want to check out the YouTube channel of the Conscious Spirit Podcast because there are a few other options out there on YouTube than because there's like that visual piece that just doesn't translate well.
Yeah. And Mari-Lyn it was your idea to start putting the meditations on this channel.
Yes.
Fred's Meds. Starting
Fred's Meds.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It was great. But there were other things, readings and exercise and or messaging, I should say.
The messaging, yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And we're grateful for you. And we really
are.
mean that, actually. All right. See you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.